What's going on, guys? So, last time you saw me, I was stuck in the driveway. It's cold weather still. Anyways, when I was editing the video, what's driving me nuts about this thing is I hated how it looked. I hated how the new, box and all the cab corners and stuff were black and the rest of the truck was kind of green, and it just, I don't know, it looked beat, but not the right kind of beat. So I was kind of looking around the garage at what I had, and ultimately I'm fighting it out if I should paint the truck, all flat black, which I kind of hate. I actually like this green, or if I should try and make this match the green somehow, which I know a lot of you guys have said. Now, I'm not going to spend any money on it. So I was going around, this is what I have in the garage. I had some of this, I don't know where I got this from, but camouflage paint. And I got some miscellaneous kind of primers and stuff like that. Anyways, I cut a piece of the box out that was in the backyard. So this side here is that camouflage paint. Then if I just kind of scuff it up once it was dry, it kind of gives the illusion it's, I don't know, not bad. And then the truck's so beat up, I don't even know, it's got paint and stuff on it. I'm thinking I'll just spray a bunch of paint and junk on it, top coat it with some of that, maybe try and scuff it down, see what it looks like. Hey, if it looks like crap, I'll deal with it then. Same with all the trim. I have all the trim. It's all beat up, but I think if I put the trim back on, it might draw your eye away from it a little bit. And it was literally just like it's screwed on. I don't know if that's factory or just the old farmer did it, but I can kind of put that back on, take your eye away from everything. It's rusty on top and this, and then the hood's kind of different. It's got like a black coming through. There's no rhyme or reason to the way this truck kind of looks, which is strange. The one door was rotted right out. This one's not as bad. Then the top is kind of minty, and the fenders are actually decent if this one wasn't all smashed. So nothing made any sense. And what really drove me nuts was how the tailgate looked across to the black and stuff. I just thought it was terrible. So I'm probably going to push this thing ahead a little bit, and I'm just going to start messing around, scuff up the box side, cab corner, spray on some miscellaneous colors, try and top coat it in some green, let it dry, and scuff it till I'm happy, or shoot it all black again. Alright, so I've just kind of masked off a little bit, gave it a quick scuff. Gotta get a little bit of cleaner in here because it's got some goo on it, but that's fine. So I'm kind of just looking at the rest of the truck, and it seems like all the hard angles, it's got rust, but I don't know, a little bit of brown or whatever. I have some primer there, maybe a little black on some of the edges even. I'm not too sure what way I'm going to go, but that's that. I was thinking about actually getting color match paint. The problem is this is actually a metallic, so I don't know if you can get it in kind of a dull color. So yeah, we'll give this a whirl and see what happens. I don't have high hopes, but it'll look better than it did, that's for sure. Alright, so I painted on some brown, a little bit of black as a top coat there, just kind of let them mix together. I'm looking for kind of a dark underneath as I sand through. So hopefully now I'll kind of sand into the black, below that'll be the brown, and then below that again will just be that whatever coating that kind of came on the box side. And depending on how crazy I want to go, I might sand actually right down to some bare metal and let it kind of rust a little bit, just on some hard lines or something, just to kind of get the same look as the rest of the truck. We'll see. So let this set up for a little bit till it kind of hardens up, then I'll fog on some green. So here we go. So it's definitely a different color. At the back it's wet, it's kind of drying at the front a little bit, so hopefully it'll it'll soften out and kind of match. This has almost like an oxidized kind of color, so I'm thinking I might even just kind of spray a little, maybe kind of high build primer on there to bring a little bit more lightness to it. But you can see, like, this is the original color on the inside. So that's, you know, I'm sure that would shine up nicely, but that's what it looks like on the outside. I did the bottom, cap corner and stuff. So again, it's still kind of wet down there. But up here where it's starting to dry, it's not as bad. I took the trim off. It's just hammered. But again, if you just kind of put it on, you can trim the edge, but it'll draw your eye away a little bit from it. So we'll see. I think I have the other side as well. I'm missing the back pieces because they're all ripped off. But I think I have all the rest of the trim and then the other door trim and stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the whole thing is so beat up. It'll kind of have that, I guess, farm truck kind of look to it. But I'm going to let this dry for an hour or so. I'll come back out and check on it and just see how it's turning out. Alright, so the paint's kind of dried. I ended up putting the trim on. So, on camera it looks actually way crazier than it does in real life. But, I don't know. It's getting there, so I'm just going to kind of scuff it up, do my thing. It is what it is. I guess if it looks like crap, it looks like crap. But, same thing, I can also scuff into here a little bit. And that kind of changes this color as well. So I mean, you can do the whole truck or comet wash it or do something, but ultimately, that's that. I ended up throwing, I'll show up little spots and stuff. So I just kind of filled the paint can with some paint and kind of whoop, 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 whole way across. So I don't know. It's definitely got more of an army green tinge to it than the rest of the truck. But again, with the trim and stuff on it, it kind of dries your eye away a little bit. It almost looks like it's just a box off some other truck on it. But I'm going to keep going, see how this turns out. I said worst case I can repaint it or do something different. Alright, well, I'm doing a fair bit more screwing around. So I don't know, that kind of shows up a little better with the light on it. I think the light in the garage is screwing it up because on camera it just looks weird, but it's not too bad. So I beat it up, I don't know, pretty bad. I tossed on some thinner and stuff to kind of give it some runs, make it look a little rusty. We'll see what happens. I've kind of given up on it. I think I'm done that side for tonight. This side, I'm just going to go. So here's what I kind of did. I just literally filled up the can with paint, kind of flicked it around there, of the lid, sorry, of the spray bomb. So it kind of gives it these little things, and then once you kind of sand through to that, I hit that with some thinner, and it leaks down. It makes it look kind of rusty. So let that dry. I'll give it another coat of black, and then probably let that dry. What I'm going to do with this door, how crazy I want to go, if I want to just leave it as is or what. And shoot it green. I think that's a job for tomorrow. Leaving it there tonight. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm not a huge fan of the fake patina, but I just hated that box side being shiny black. At least now, at night, in the dark, driving on the road, it'll look fine. Alright, well, it's the next day. So I was like losing sleep last night over the greens. It just drove me nuts how bad it stood out. It didn't look as bad when I put on my computer as it does in the back of this camera, but what I did find this morning, I came out, this is the old paint I had mixed up for the Chevelle. So you can kind of see it's a green, but it's kind of more like that. And this is actually the factory color, I believe, for the Chevelle before it was kind of faded. You can see how really kind of green that is. And that's kind of close to, you know, the color this thing was. Again, this is a 71 Chevy truck, and the Chevelle was a 70. I don't know, I'm sure it's not the exact same green, but same era. So I just kind of dusted it a little bit. I filled in a little bit with that kind of more of a silvery green. I think a mix of the two, I might be able to kind of make something work. Again, I'm not going for perfection. It's going to be what it's going to be, but that's how she goes. I think the door might be even different because it almost looks like a different color than the fender and everything else. I guess it is what it is. The other side, once I get to it, I mean, it's a primer door, so I don't know if I'm going to try and paint the whole door. That might really look funny. It might just be best to leave it as a primer door and break your eye up from it, but that's how it is. So I'm going to put a little bit of paint and thinner on here, see where I end up. Well, I backed it outside, so I wanted to see what it was going to look like in the sun. So, I mean, it's a different color, there's no bones about it, but it's not quite as noticeable. I mean, it looks a little bit better in the daylight. Actually, it's so bright out, it's actually kind of the blues reflecting on the truck. But hey, it's better than it was. It's a ratty old truck. I guess now it kind of looks like it's just someone put a used box on it or something. This truck, if you really wanted it, I mean, it needs, you know, a new door, a new fender, but hey, it is what it is. You can bolt on all the new parts you want and actually paint this thing and have a really nice truck. But I think I'm going to live with it. Again, the blue now is, you can see it in the chrome like crazy. It's kind of a harsh line on the tailgate, but if I get some of that chrome around there, it won't be so bad. I think it looks better than this. I just hated having a black box side. They look terrible. It doesn't look as bad flat black, but I'll bring this sucker back in, fog that one side green, let it dry, and do more of the same of this custom work. Okay, so the paint's kind of dried enough anyway, so I sprayed it with that whatever miscellaneous rattle can green, and I just kind of fogged over it with that more silvery green, so obviously it stands out. But I'll start a little bit thinner on a rag, make it look a little beat up. So all I do is, I mean, you probably saw on the fast motion, but just kind of beat up the corners where it would kind of wear out and stuff. This truck's weird. I mean, on the other side, the fender was real wore out and stuff. And even this thing, you can see how it's kind of really bright green there, and it's more of like a dull silver and black under on there. I mean, I don't know. So, I'll get started. Well, my time-lapse GoPro, just charging that up. So while I'm doing that, I put the trim on the door and the box. So, I mean, obviously the green's still mangled. So what I did, I scuffed it all up, and then I ended up just kind of fogging over it again with that more of a silvery kind of gray, the Chevelle color. Let that set up. I like to put the trim on now, and I'm going to basically just be sanding and rubbing away at it. So it kind of, so what it's going to look like with your eye on it. No point putting a lot of effort in, you know, this area or wherever it's going to hide for no reason. So that's on there. So now that's all dried up, I'll start scuffing it up and kind of bring through some more of the color, some of the browns. Just kind of hit all the edges. I mean, hey, if I don't like it, put more paint on and start again. But I think this side will look a little, it won't be as, I don't know, drawing to it because, I mean, the door is already gray. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Just me by some of my body work it, try and fix it up. Now it's already got a beat up primer door. I'm trying to match that to a bunch of beat up, you know, green, rust, dented, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it looks fine. Looks like it's a haggard old truck with a different box on it and someone changed the door, which is exactly what it is. So I'm going to start working on this, and then hopefully I can get it done while there's still some daylight out. Get a little walk around on it. out in the light. So I actually think the passenger side turned out a lot better than the driver's side. The passenger side had a lot more kind of black and stuff coming through, so it kind of worked, and the hood and all that. The driver's side's got a lot more green now that I kind of see it out, and it's got that kind of primer door, so I think it just needs a little bit more green put on in between the two moldings, but whatever. It's better than it was. It's just got too much black on it on this side because the front of the truck is so light. So I'll fill in this little section right here, a little bit more green. Go from there, and then I mean around back, the tailgate's darker, but it's so rusty and beat up, it's going to be what it is. And really, it does need a new gate on it anyways. But overall, I think I'm pretty happy with it. Gets the desired effect. I mean, really, if you want to go crazy on it, you could, but I think I'm done with it right now. So put her back in the garage, maybe put a little coat of paint on that and work on that, but that's how she turned out. So let me know in the comments what you think. I don't know. I think that's it for this video. So like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Make sure you leave a comment. I love all the comments. Yeah, hit the bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Well, it's not the end of the video. I put some more green on there, kind of scuffed it up. We'll see what happens. Still kind of the wrong color, but I'm gonna live with it for now and kind of carry on. Needs to be a little kind of grayer in it or something like that, but I'll drive it around and see what happens once it gets dirty. Put some rubber up in the quarter panels and be done with it. But now this is the end of the video, so if you haven't already, for sure, like, share, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Well, again, it's not the end of the video. I was actually editing the video with the paint, and it was driving me nuts. I had it rendered and everything. I was going to put it up, and I thought, it looks terrible. I'm sure at this point you guys have already barbecued me in the comments. So what I did this morning, because I couldn't sleep last night, I went out and I cut a section of the box out of the truck. I brought it in to the guys at Rondex. Those guys are so good. You bring in something like that and they'll actually try and match it up. So you can see that's the color they kind of came up with. So it's some sort of miscellaneous Ford pewter, I don't know what. I dropped it off in the morning and picked up a couple of cans after work. But look how this sucker turned out. See if I can get far enough away. It's dark. But I don't know. It looks way better on camera. Hopefully when I edit this, it's way better. So I painted everything. I blew it into the kind of back of the cab a little bit and just scuffed it up. I think it looks 1,000 times better. The other side, I'll show you what it kind of goes on. I've just painted it. I haven't distressed it or nothing. So it's actually shiny and it looks kind of gross and all that. But again, you can see where I kind of blew it into the cab. I'll just scuff it up, use a little thinner, do whatever I got to do, and make it look a little better. Around the back, same thing. I blew it into the tailgate a little bit and just kind of scuffed it. So I think it looks way better. So if you did barbecue me in the comments already, let me know what you think now. It's like a triple encore. It's pretty good. All right. Well, now you for sure have to leave a comment. If you're still here, you might as well click the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I promise I'm not coming back.